Good evening. Hello, dudes. I hope we're all well and merry on this Tuesday night / Wednesday morning. I am exhausted. A lovely day, but extremely busy. Just writing, and then I had a very nice evening though, because I started, as I think I sent you the link yesterday. I told you that lovely Dave has made me a lovely website, and people have been ordering books. So today I got to sign all of these. There's one for you in that pile, Kira. I think that's my international pile down there. And I think Kevin, I saw your name pop by. So that's been a lovely evening to do, just a sort of real moment of having a word with myself and going, babe, you're sitting at your desk signing books that you wrote to send out to people, which is that's really cool. I just had a nice moment of feeling like, yeah, all right, well done. And I was hoping something would have arrived for me to show you today, but it hasn't. A little bit crossed. It's going to come tomorrow, which is a no book club day. So I'll have to show you Thursday. Hopefully it'll be here by then. Thanks for the nice bow comments. It's because my hair is gross. I'm trying to get it back into like washing it every 3 or 4 days. And I also really need to dye it again because it's such a scrappy color at the moment. So I thought I'd just pin it all back. That's been my day. I hope you've all been. I think I've read Ben's Rabbit is feeling a bit better, which is great. And everybody's good. I think I haven't watched Bake Off yet, hence the not wanting spoilers, because I've already had someone text me something about it and I'm a little bit cross that it might have been a giveaway. But I intend to go and watch it with a hot chocolate after this. Good writing though. So tomorrow night, if you want to, I'm being interviewed by Emma Kennedy on the Chortle Book Festival. It's like an online book festival thing. So I'll be doing that. No, I know, no spoilers. It's fine. How long are you doing the personalized messages for, Laura? Oh yeah, forever. I'd have thought. I can't see why not. It seems quite nice. It's really lovely actually getting people's messages to put in the books. It's really lovely. I feel weird like telling you, but there's just really lovely ones from people being like, sort of like commenting on the fact that they'd spent the weekend together when they'd read the tweets and things like that, or like, I'll remember when we were laughing at this and now it's a book, or like, oh, aren't you lucky to be married to me, I'm better than Klopp, and all that sort of stuff. And it's really lovely. It's really nice sort of being a bit of a, like, what's the word, I don't know, a bit of in the middle of two people's love for each other and just seeing a little glimpse into some relationships, if you know what I mean. It's really nice. So yeah, tomorrow I'll be discussing that with Emma Kennedy on Tinternet. Better than Klopp, I know. Someone made me write the word Bielsa or something in one of them, or some other one, and actually spelt the name of the football manager wrong. And then I was like, well, do I cross it out or do I have to write them a fresh book? Like, I can't really be able to waste a book every time. So I had to cross it out, and he's so rubbish I couldn't even spell his name right. But yeah, I forgot how to spell my own name by the end of it. But it was a real surreal moment of sitting here and thinking, and I've been like steaming ahead on the new novel, which has been really lovely. I'm about 10,000 words into that now, like obviously all first drafty, which I'll have to sort of have to go back through it and check it, which I haven't been doing for any of the YouTube ones. So that'll be odd doing an edit. I had to get a personalized one for my friends so I don't sneakily swap a signed copy for my unsigned copy whenever I get to see them next. Well, listen, next time I'm in Canada gigging, I'm definitely going to get booked for Montreal as soon as everything's open again. So I will, I'll sign one for you. Laura will be on Sewing Bee next. Oh my God, I'd be dreadful on Sewing Bee. Bake Off is the one I want to do. I'd love to do Bake Off. I'd love to do Pointless. I basically just want to show off about how brilliant I am. So if I need any proofreaders, I know at the moment it's all just too messy. Like I'm just splurging stuff onto the page to see what happens. But I'm quite excited about, it's nice to be writing the novel. And because it's based on this idea that I've had for years, it's coming quite easily, which is really lovely. And I'm also trying to write, we're doing this 12 days of Kloppmas, so I'm writing 12 new short Klopp characters. So there will be there will be some more Klopp content for Klopp addicts coming up, which is quite exciting. There's just so much writing going on in my world. And also, I'm mentoring somebody at the moment who's written a short film. I'm sort of helping out. I did a speech at a climate change thing earlier in the year, and now I'm mentoring someone who's written a comedy film about climate change. And it's one of those things that I'm really glad to be doing, because I want to make sure that my eco-anxiety feeling sort of what's the word, I do something good with it, but it's quite triggering. So that's been quite interesting. Did you contact my friend Sabine Edwards? Sent me a DM on Twitter. Oh, I don't look at my DMs on Twitter. I barely remember. No, sorry. I didn't. I just need to check on crackers for a joke. But it was quite fun hearing all about German Christmas. Do they need actors? I don't know if they actually get made, these scripts. Well, she runs literary events in Cambridge. Very nice. I'll go back and have a look at my Twitter. Twitter just races past so quickly. I forget Twitter quite a lot, and people send work offers on Twitter, and then I think, like, oh no, you've got to email me, otherwise I forget it's happened. Right, where were we? Lockdown Book Club. That's where we were. Oh, we've got such a fun vote to do at the end of today's. I'm really excited about this vote. This might be the most ambitious vote we've ever done in the history of lockdown book clubs. So chapter 8 is going to kick off. So what were we deciding? Okay, so at the end of the last chapter, Dutch Christian was quite mad at Kate, reasonably so, I think. And he wants to move out. So it was up to you what Kate got up to next. So chapter 8, let's see what's happening with Kate. Chapter 8. You hated it. Okay. Polly sat opposite Graham you'd forgotten about Graham, hadn't you? But guess who's back? Graham. And guess who spent a small part of this afternoon watching videos on how to do Yorkshire accents? This guy. Polly sat opposite Graham in the busy restaurant. They were sitting in a silence that she knew he would want to describe as companionable, but that she felt was boring and worrisome. Her problem with silence was that her brain rushed to fill it. Nature, and Kate's brain, abhors a vacuum, and with every second that passed without conversation, her mind flew to defend... What the hell does that mean? And with every second that passed without conversation, her mind flew to defend business and threw a thought into the void. I don't know why it says business there. I don't even know what I was trying. Polly? Why does that say Polly? Oh God, yeah, no, Polly's not that. Wow, what a turn of events that would be. Not Polly. Not Polly. I'm so sorry. Let's just start this whole chapter again. I'm going to fix this sentence. Every second that passed without conversation, her mind flew to, why have I put defend business? Her mind flew to, let's put defend herself. I'm so sorry about this. This is why I won't be testing any of the new chapters of the new book out until I've proofread them. Right, let's try this again. Chapter 8. Kate sat opposite Graham in the busy restaurant. They were sitting in a silence that she knew he would want to describe as companionable, but that she felt was boring and worrisome. Her problem with silence was that her brain rushed to fill it. Nature, and Kate's brain, abhors a vacuum, and with every second that passed without conversation, her mind flew to defend herself and threw a thought into the void. The void was never full, though, and as the thoughts spiraled, so too did the depth of complexity and inevitably worrisomeness that accompanied them. She spiraled spaghetti onto her fork and promised herself that she would not make plans with Graham again. If there was something there, she would be having more fun than this. Look at Polly and Ryan. 4 children and nearly a decade into their marriage, and they still came home from dates with a bit of spark to them. Yes, because Polly's cheating on it in an alternate universe. Oh, God, we're going to have to write 2 chapters now. One where... Nonsense. She would come home from this and just have to start Interview with the Vampire all over again to feel good about something. Oh, can you hear Mackie? Yeah, she is kicking off about something downstairs. She really growls at the stairs. She gets quite angry with the idea of anything moving downwards. She is a small yappy type dog. Wooa wooa. Woof woof, for those of you in the subcontinent. Is that what it's called? Subcontinent? Yeah. Is that a bell? Yes, she rings the bell. She's a nightmare. She had finished reading it yesterday, having called in sick to work to cope with the fact that she had managed to drive her housemate away just by being generally impossible to live with. Christian had sent notice to their landlady and drafted an advert for new housemates to go all over the internet. Kate had offered to help, but Christian had patiently explained that he thought it was better for him to write the advert as they needed to attract someone who could pay rent. That had stung. She knew she wasn't the world's best housemate, but she realized through Christian's fury that actually she was far from even bearable. It hurt. They'd had a flurry of interest from people wanting to rent the room, and she and Christian had gone through the responses and chosen 3 for Kate to interview the next evening. Nice, isn't it? Graham said, nodding his head around the restaurant. Kate glanced up, almost shocked to remember they were on a date. Oh yeah, lovely. And it was. It was a tiny place Kate hadn't known existed before tonight, but Graham had escorted her through the lanes in town and toward what looked like a tiny restaurant from the outside, but had in fact been large and bustling on the inside. Fairy lights were strung across the ceiling and tiny tables were packed into the wide, oddly shaped room. The walls were bare brick and it gave a warmth to the decor. They fell into silence again and Kate pushed a wide smile up her cheeks to reassure Graham that she was having a nice time. I don't think Mackie wants them to be on a date. I'm sorry, said Graham, sighing and leaning back in his chair. Kate's smile dropped. What for? No, Wales. What for? She asked, putting her knife and fork together. I'm not much of a talker, am I? This must be so boring for you. Kate shook her head wildly, suddenly so fearful that he had read all the thoughts she was having about how bored she was because he wasn't much of a talker. No, not at all. It's nice. Graham actually laughed at that, and Kate found herself smiling at his giggle. You don't think that. You're bored, I can tell. I'm so shit at small talk. I thought when me and Anna broke up, it'd be the sex I'd miss most. Sorry, I figure I can be candid now we've both absolutely given up on this date. Kate nodded and agreed, despite privately being stung that he'd given up on it. Obviously she had, but that didn't mean she wanted to know he had. But it's not, he continued. It's the chatting. Every time I go on a date, I just feel exhausted at the thought of having all those conversations again. I'd done them all with Hannah. We could just get on with stuff. It was great. Why did you break up, if you don't mind me asking? Kate picked up her fork again, her appetite coming back with the conversation. She said it wasn't enough. She said she felt all too early. I was gutted. Maybe, and sorry if I'm overstepping here, but like you say, date is over. Maybe she hadn't had enough of the conversations like you had. He looked at her. No one said that before. I might not be right, she backtracked. I don't know her. I mean, I barely know you, do I? But it seems like maybe if there's nothing you want to say to someone or hear from them, then why bother being around them? That might be the saddest thing anyone's ever said to me, said Graham, and Kate felt a swoop of misery and fear through her stomach. I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean... No, you're absolutely right. I'm just processing. I've spent all this time thinking I just wished I could have Anna back, and you're right. Why did I want her back if I was just going to sit in silence with her? Why not sit on my own and do that? Kate didn't know what to say now. She felt like Graham was really going through something, and while she was happy for him, she had absolutely no idea what to say to make this less like a therapy session and more like the end of a bad date. Interview with the Vampire was sitting temptingly in her bag, and the quicker she got on the bus, the quicker she could fall back into the world of it and hide. On the other hand, though, being here with Graham felt scary in a brave way. Have you been on many dates since you split? She asked, feeling shy. Yeah, loads. What about you? Have you been on many? No, you're the first one. No, okay, she's gone Liverpool now. Wales. No, you're the first one. I'm from Wales. Oh no, I've lost her accent now. Welsh. No, you're the first one. I've been on the app and scrolling and stuff, but I don't know. As soon as someone suggests meeting up, I just get cold feet and then wander off. What made you come out with me? Kate eyed him, unsure whether to tell the truth. She decided she would. The boat. I thought you were hating the boat. His eyes sprung wide with surprise. I I was, Kate laughed. It wasn't what I was expecting. God, I really hated it. They were both laughing now, and Kate felt a spark of happiness in seeing a few other couples in the restaurant turning to look at them, and what a good time they seemed to be having. Why did you agree to see me again then? Graham asked. I don't know. Probably same reason you wanted to see me. It's better than being on your own, isn't it? This killed the laughter completely, and they both looked at each other a bit sadly. I think we might both be a bit. I think we might both be a bit broken, Graham. He smiled. Yeah, you're spot on with that, Kate. This is definitely the best not date I've ever had, though. Thank you. Kate swallowed and screwed up her courage. Do you fancy another not date sometime next week, as friends like? He smiled, the biggest smile she'd seen out of him yet, and then nodded. I'd love that. Let's get the bill. It's past my bedtime. All right, Grandpa, Kate laughed. Right, okay. There's your chapter for a Tuesday night in November 2020. A not date. So maybe there's a friend to be had out of old Graham here. We don't know. Let's find out. However, you've got a lot of voting to do before Thursday. So what I thought would be fun is I'm going to give you 3 subjects, and each subject has 6 options. You get 2 votes per subject. I will write all this down because this is sounding more complicated than I'm reading it outside. So there's 3 subjects, there's 6 options per subject, and you get 2 votes per subject. Then what I'm going to do is the top 3 of each subject are going to apply to one of the people that comes to interview for the house. So, for example, you can choose between 6 pet options. There is cat, rabbit, tortoise, horses, guinea pigs, and snakes. There is a smell, onions, Ralph Lauren romance, wax, meatballs, bleach, or incense. There is a thing that they hate. Children, Velcro, cotton wool, meat, lavender, and flying. So you get 2 votes on each of those. And then I'll take the top 3 of each one and mix and match them to make some people. So there might be a person with a cat who smells like meatballs and hates Velcro. There might be someone with a snake who smells like Ralph Lauren romance and hates cotton wool. And each of those will have a ramification, if that makes sense. So we'll have a person, you know, the perfume will mean a thing, and the pet will mean a thing, and the blah, blah, blah will mean a thing. So does that make sense? I will write it down. So on each subject, you get to choose 2. You can vote for 2. So you can sort of vote for cat and rabbit if you like, and then whichever ones get the highest, I'll choose. A plot noodle. Oh, I like that. Artworld's making notes. So I thought you've got some time to have a think, because we haven't got another chapter till Thursday now, and I won't be writing tomorrow because I'm busy. So Chris, you spent an age on that, Laura. I did. You have no idea all the books that I've part written, because every time I give you a subject, I write what the plot will be if that one gets the vote. So there's so many stories I've written that you've never heard. The places these books could have gone if you guys didn't keep screwing it up and killing people with nothing to do with me. So there you go. You've got some time. Don't forget to vote. I'll try and tweet Thursday morning to remind you. Don't forget. It's very important. But you get to oh, Mackie, shut up. You get to decide. So, yeah, there you go. Do some voting, and I'll hopefully see you at a couple of the things I'm doing tomorrow night, or if not, I shall see you on Thursday at 10 p.m. and we'll do the interviews. We'll meet some characters. Here we go. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely couple of days. Bye.